Okay, so the rules, Nick. The rules are everyone who is a presenter is going to get 30 seconds to talk about their project and how exciting it is and try to convince you to show up and see it. At the end of your 30 seconds, you will hear an annoying noise that will kick you off of the stage. And if the noise doesn't do it, I will. But you want to get to the point. Don't just read the name of your project. You want to get people excited. And we need to keep a line that keeps at least 5 people deep. So if you're on day 1, that's the noise. If you're on day 1, please go ahead and get lined up. What we'll do is we'll go through each session. And for each session, we will then have up on the list who is giving a presentation for that particular session. So if you're Danny, Philip, or Chris, please go ahead and get lined up. And if you're on the program for the rest of the day, please get ready and just go ahead and line up here unless you're Danny. We'll wait till Danny gets up. And we're going to do this lightning. As soon as one person ends, we're going on to the next. We don't have a lot of downtime. Yes, it is. All right. Here we go. Danny.
Technology is not the solution. Acronyms are irrelevant. There is no 3D, 4D, or 5D. There's only 1D, digital. More specifically, transforming analog practice to digital practice. The technology is already here and has been here for a while. We need to change the practice philosophies that drive how we deliver the information that is used to build our projects. Or as Neo would say, there is no spoon.
That is great because he used less than 30 seconds. All right, next we've got Philip. Come on up, Philip. Do we have Philip here? All right, Philip may not be here yet, so we're going to move on to Chris. You're up.
All right. I'm going to directly address what Jonathan Porter just referred to as throwing data over the wall. And I'm going to do that essentially in 4 different numbers: 1, 3, 100, and 200. I'm going to share with you metrics from one project toolbox, that's searchable interface, that's been used for over 3 years to collect data from over 100 people on the project team that have been utilizing over 200 custom applications.
All right. Chris. We don't have Philip, right? Philip's still not here? Philip, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. You got 30 seconds to get us excited about your presentation. Go.
Okay, utilities are a huge, huge issue, and I see these beautiful 3D models, and I don't see any utilities in them. And there's a reason for that, because we don't have standards for collecting the data when it goes in the ground in the first place. So that's what we're going to work on, and we've developed a consensus standard, and I'm going to just talk about our activity and what we're going to deliver here. So there you go.
Thank you. Next is the transit, bike, and car sharing, ops and data analysis. Do we have George? Jorge, sorry, Jorge.
No worries.
Go for it.
All right. As many of you have been working to cut down on the U.S. dependence on automobiles, and my presentation today will be about car sharing. Now, I will be the first to admit that there's no silver bullet to solve this problem, but I think car sharing is a powerful tool to get us there. As part of my presentation, I will show you 3 visualizations that I've done on car sharing vehicle flow and availability. I'll show you also how I got to those visualizations. So see you 11 a.m. Huntington.
Well done. All right, Nicole. Come on up, Nicole.
Thanks. Our presentation will actually have 2 presenters, myself and Chris Pangilinan, who's in the back there. Hey, we are actually a public-private collaboration. We'll be presenting from the San Francisco Municipal Transportation Agency and Fair and Pierce Transportation Consultants. We're visualizing transit GPS data. We have a whole set of visualizations, visualizing performance metrics such as reliability, travel time, speed. Our visualizations include video and an interactive web map, and we'll also talk about applications. Thank you.
Ellen, you're next.
So I will be presenting on a project we've been working with the New York MTA on moving them from an anger level about data visualization into a proactive projects, particularly using operational performance and embedding it into interactive reports, whether they be monthly reports, making the case for the capital program, or even environmental impact statements. The need for efficiently communicating to stakeholders.
All right, thank you, Ellen. Signal Operations and Transit. Do we have Douglas Gitman? Oh, he wasn't in line. Troubles. All right,
Okay,
here we go.
so who drives the car? Who drives the car in arterials? Okay, you're going to hear about some new ways for visualizing information about how you can make arterial performance better.
Well done. He got us back on track. Mark, you're up next.
I'm going to talk about how New York City is using visualization to provide real-time adjustments to 12,000 traffic signals to simultaneously assist 6,000 buses moving anywhere throughout New York City without killing pedestrians and without wreaking havoc throughout the city. And I'm going to show how it's working right now in Lower Manhattan and the Wall Street Financial District, Chinatown, and Lower East Side. Hope you'll join me.
All right, Digital Cities, Kevin or Charles, come on up here.
Good morning. All of your projects sit in cities or metropolitan planning districts. We're going to show you how to use existing data and how to use new visualization data to better represent your projects in context.
I love it. Asset Management, Roads and Utilities. Cesar. If you're James, or go ahead, get in line.
Oh, Jim is right here.
Yeah, all right, sweet.
Hello, everybody. We'll be talking about a very interesting project sponsored by FHWA that is looking into the feasibility of designing and visualizing utilities in a 3D environment. We'll also be talking about some results of the SHARP 2 R15C project, which we are about to finish.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Well done.
Okay, more about utilities. 35 million miles already exist under the ground. Still, since 1974, the #1 cause of contractor delays on highway projects. We're going to look at standards that are in place, different algorithms are there, and we're going to try to get away from the way that we depict utilities now, which is we make a guess as to where they are and deal with the risks when people get killed and environmental problems happen.
Do we have Fahed? P-H-I-D? No? No? All right, moving on. VDC Case Studies. If you're one of these people, come on down. Okay. Someone's going for 60 seconds.
Oh, gosh, okay. Hi, anyway, I'll be talking about the Huey P. Long Bridge in New Orleans, an existing bridge that we've convinced the contractors that rather than doing a stick-built bridge concept by VDC, we were able to show that we can do a better span-by-span modeling of the bridge itself. There's an extensive animation that we did that was illustrating how we were able to do it, as well as showing some conflicts we had in the construction in the final span. And I'll speak for Alfred, too.
All right.
Okay. Alfred couldn't be here. Anyway, the 6th Street Viaduct Bridge, if you've seen Grease, Terminator, or a lot of the movies, this is an iconic bridge in LA that we are doing for the city. And basically, we're showing like what we have done in terms of animation, how we were able to win this job, as well as how we would show the construction of this iconic bridge replacement.
Nabil?
Not Nabil.
Nabil.
Co-presenting with Nabil, Cameron Schmeitz. We are from UT. We're going to be looking at a couple of case study projects in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Unique projects because they're PPP projects, design and build projects as well. So we're looking at how to use visualization in the fluid design build environment, specifically in construction. So we're looking at unforeseen issues that come up and how visualization can quickly respond to those issues that come up specifically for the public. So come to your presentation.
Martin, is Martin around? All right, no Martin. Moving on. Mobile probe data collection and analysis. Is this Brian? Brian's coming down. Adrian, Chen-Sin, and Sung-Wok, you get ready.
Hi everyone, I'm Brian Durstein from Iteris. We are presenting in the Huntington room at 4 o'clock today. I'm going to be talking about crowdsourcing transportation incident data from Twitter and also Waze. I'm going to show some visualizations of incidents that we currently do with our product PEMS, and I hope you join me at 4 o'clock today in Huntington, right out there.
Is Adrian here yet? Nope, not here yet. What about Chen-Sin? Not yet? I got some last minute. Zhonghua? Okay, well, if they don't show up, Brian's gonna have a great session just himself. Work zone management. Roma, come on up. You get 2 extra seconds.
All right. Good morning. We will be talking about how you can use something as simple as Google Earth to visualize the work zone project, and also how it can serve as a supporting tool to plan and operations of the ITS devices, as well as it can provide an inventory. There we go.
Hey, Michael Van Daniker, come on up.
I'm going to be talking about an application that the University of Maryland is working on with the I-95 Corridor Coalition to build a tool that will allow people on work zone sites and in operation centers to analyze how the work zone is impacting traffic in terms of user delay cost, and maybe allow them to make adjustments to how they're managing that work zone on the fly.
So I'm Rob Rannick from Iteris, and I'm going to be talking about a new work zone monitoring technique that we developed at Iteris that uses real-time data from localized sensors to help contractors maintain the traffic in real time, which is really a big change in how work zones are managed. You should come to it because I'm going to do a demo of a live version of our system. You actually see individual cars in real time at a little site in Sacramento, if things work.
I love live demos. So that's it for day one. So day one alone is pretty exciting. However, right after Rob and his partners present, there will be a big reception out in the main lobby area, the atrium, and our 9 patrons will be doing interactive demos and showcasing some of their technologies. So that should be exciting as well. So day 2. We're now on Thursday. We've got a lot of great sessions there as well. First, we have design and visualization of infrastructure for safety. Do we have Daniel or Wei Zhang here yet? Anybody? Anybody?
Dan Neighbors isn't here.
All right, Joe.
For me to talk, but I'll try. Howdy. So Dan Neighbors and Rebecca Crow, they're going to try to show how, as John was mentioning, the use of 3D modeling can enhance and integrate the capability of performing one of these formal road safety audits. It's particularly useful when you have a multidisciplinary team and not everybody speaks engineering.
Sweet. Thanks, Joe.
My name is Wei Zhang. I will be talking about using 3D visualization in combination with other information to convince the local citizens about the value of our car design and the benefit, and that's going to be very useful for public meetings.
Thank you. Next we have Traffic Management Center Evaluation and Decision Support. Nicola is ringing the bell, so if he cheats, someone call him out. Whoops.
All right, so tomorrow I will be presenting several different innovative dashboards that integrate several different data types from different data sources to provide a complete picture that you can use to actually do some decision making. And I may or may not wear a tie or a bow tie tomorrow, so come and find out.
So if you want to see Nicola, no tie, come tomorrow. Mort.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mort Fartash. I'm with Caltrans District 12 Transportation Management Center here in Orange County. And the project that we have, performance evaluation, is a result of working in partnership with universities, researchers, and private consultant to use the existing system database that we have and put them into a performance of whether we earn our money for what we are doing. If you're a practitioner, if you have clients that work, that you need to evaluate the performance of their TMC, you can come.
All right. Every time there's a major snowstorm or some sort of catastrophe that's looming over Washington, D.C., all the folks in charge of transportation emergency management get together on a phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then every 3 hours after that to try to figure out what they're going to do to solve the problems or get people out of the city. It is a complete cluster. It is very difficult to manage large phone calls. We're going to be demoing a tool that helps to make them make decisions in a more collaborative nature. Scott? Do we have Scott Parr here yet? All right, moving on. Modeling and simulation, 5 great talks in this session. Is Robert Tung here yet? Natalia. Natalia, come on up.
Hi, I'm Natalia. I'm with the Network Modeling Center at the University of Texas at Austin, and we're going to be presenting our work on visualizing the results of dynamic traffic assignment models. These are hot among MPOs these days and produce large sets of data comparable to actually having the trajectories of all vehicles in a traffic network. So we have tools that are web-based, interactive, and open source to visualize, to transform the data into plots and maps, and they're really fun, so I would like to have you there.
Ming. Is Ming here?
I'm here from UCI, and I'm going to tell you how we build a web application easily through open source software R with Shiny package to visualize the lane changing behaviors around the freeway-to-freeway connectors in Orange County. And if you're interested in learning how to use the free software to build the web application easily and quickly, please come.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Nope. How about Joshua? Joshua Miller.
Yeah. Quick correction, that should read Global Transportation Roadmap Model at the end. Because models are exciting, but not unless they're useful, right? So exposure to outdoor air pollution is a leading cause of premature mortality, associated with 3.2 million early deaths globally in 2010. Motor vehicle emissions are a major contributor to these impacts, especially in urban areas. But a new global policy roadmap could reduce these impacts by 75% in 2030. I'll introduce interactive visualizations that communicate these findings, answering questions such as how is the burden of health impacts distributed globally, how will these impacts change over time, and what are key pollutants.
All right, data integration and collaboration. So since we started, we found out about the cancellation of the keynote like yesterday. I didn't have time to add all the descriptions of everything this morning. So, Wesley, hey, Wesley.
Believe it or not, before the Age of Enlightenment, Federal Highway was generating databases that were not integrated. So Mr. Rutland Brown is going to talk about how they're going to integrate these systems, which is going to introduce a Age of Enlightenment of analysis, integration, and eventually visualization. Thank you.
Love it. Love it. We're selling tickets to his one-man act later. Amanda.
Hey, I work for a metropolitan planning organization, and I'm going to be talking about how we are using ArcGIS Online and other online mapping tools to collaboratively edit data sets, gaining local input from our cities and counties all in one place. So if you work with large geospatial data sets that require lots of input from various sources, come to my talk, and I'll be talking about how my department is handling that challenge.
You gonna wear a tie for this one?
So in this presentation, I will address some challenges of this massive data integration and show how this massive data can be visualized so that in a way that we can enable the researchers to actually drill down and gain some insights out of it. And I seriously may wear a bow tie.
All right. VDC-CIM Innovations. I don't think Julian's here. Julian's not going to make it. All right. Kevin, come on up. Craig, get in line.
Ready? All right. We keep grappling with the ROI of visualization, and one of the reasons for that is that it simply costs so much and it takes so long. So what I'm going to be focusing on is a low-cost and rapid approach to visualization using some actual projects and showing how it's accelerated project delivery, improved public outreach, improved roadway safety analysis, and improved the design process. Thank you very much. And free beer.
All right, Craig, you ready?
I'm ready. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. What did Kid Corn say to Mom Corn? Where is popcorn? Sorry. I'm going to talk about, in my presentation, planning data, how to connect it to design data, and how to bridge that gap with a collaboration, and also to see how it is from a citizen's perspective on a project. I'll show you that visually using some tools with Autodesk, if that's okay with you.
All right.
How do you make a Kleenex dance? Put a little boogie into it.
Mobile distribution of traveler information and alerts. Rob, come back. Ted, get ready.
I'm back. So, the theme of this conference is big data. One of the sources of big data these days is from mobile devices. At Iteris, we've been working really on two sides of that. One is crowdsourcing the data in, and then also pushing them out for states and other agencies. So I'm going to talk about both of that in this session. And I also have some demos, although no live demos in this session.
All right, so who has one of these? I should have said who doesn't have one of these, right? So we're going to talk about crowdsourcing and delivery of mobile traffic information via mobile devices.
Short and sweet. All right, so then I'm going to end the session by talking about the gamification of traveler information distribution and collection. So how is it that we can use the concept of games and gaming technologies to encourage behavioral change and encourage people to provide data or get them excited about receiving better information through gaming technology? I'm going to talk about how gaming technologies work, how they don't work, what makes a good design, what makes a bad design. That's it. Workshop on 3D GIS data innovation.
I was so hoping the bell was going to ring on you. Good morning. How many of you go to a family function and you got that crazy uncle that you don't know what to do with or how to deal with them? I think that crazy uncle for you is data and 3D. And this session will kind of tell you how we're combining both and using that data. So we will be doing some live demos during the session, we being Kevin Gilson and myself. So please come on down and learn about your crazy uncle.
It's Crazy Uncle Joe Moyer, I think, is his name. All right, so we also, tomorrow afternoon, we have this really neat thing called an interactive poster session. So the next set of speakers aren't going to be standing up in front of a podium. They're going to be standing out there in the atrium demoing their research. So you can have a one-on-one conversation with them. So do we have Engshaman? Is he here? No? All right, next, Michael Van Daneker.
I'm going to be demonstrating a tool that the Florida Department of Transportation is using to analyze the data they're getting off of the sensors that they've deployed very densely on some of their major roadways. They're about 1/10 of a mile, which is a lot more dense than you can get probe data for. And we'll see some of the problem spots that they've identified and some of the insights that they've had using these tools.
All right, Frederick?
Good morning. So for a traveler, transportation, it's easy. It's moving from A to B. But then when we want to understand mobility, we need to deal with a lot of different sources of data. And what I'm going to present is a tool that will help to build easily a single view out of these different sources of data. And I have a live demo as well.
All right, thank you.
So Frank Brown with Teach America, and I was promoted from presenter to one of these interactive poster sessions, and thrilled to talk about the Corridor Visualization Explorer. If you were to take the Highway Capacity Manual and the Highway Safety Manual and cram that into a single tool that you could help the public understand what would happen with all of that data, that's what the Corridor Visualization Explorer is about. So love to have you come by.
All right, also tomorrow, it'll be me. I'll be talking specifically about some interactive visualizations that we've created that help agencies not just measure what levels of congestion are in a particular region, corridor, state, what have you, but how to visualize how congestion is changing over time, which is different from just static visualizations. And it's a little more complicated than just animations and charts that are going up and down. So come and check it out. Evan, is Evan here? All right, Evan from Cambridge Systematics isn't here yet. Moving on, that's Thursday. Friday, our last day, last but not least. ROI for VDC, presentation and discussion, is Forrest here? Yes. All right.
Forrest Peterson, Center for Integrated Facility Engineering. I went to Merced and lived for 2 years with a gypsy construction crew in Merced, California, and collected information. My timer didn't start. I can go on and on. So, we drank tequila and beer and partied and barbecued, and then I implemented a SIM, or it's a BIM, or it's a 6D, or it's... And so you'll hear about it.
All right, sorry about that. Driver simulation for safety studies. Come on back, we.
Yeah, this topic is called a pinpoint driver attention distraction in the context of safety. It's an effective tool to analyze eye tracking data, making a very labor-intensive daunting task into a very simple task that allows even undergraduate student to be able to analyze data and be able to identify the deficiencies in infrastructure and also driver behavior. That will be very useful for implementing some countermeasure.
Thank you. Is Nahom here? All right, Jason, I know you're here.
I hope you stay till Friday so you can find out how we create some of our simulations we do in the Federal Highway Driving Simulator. We'll be talking about creating simulations that both integrate VISSYM traffic modeling, how do we integrate geography from both real-world Google-type sources, as well as the CAD models, and how we do things like a new technique we've used for the LED-based signage. So stay till Friday, please.
Of course you're all staying through to Friday. Why would that even be an issue? All right, is Siri Park here? Not yet. All right, Michael Van Daneker, come on up.
All right, so this is temporal and geospatial bottleneck visualizations. I'm going to be showing off a bunch of different visualization techniques for looking at bottlenecks, both in real time and in the past, so that should be useful to both people on the operations side and for the planners who are interested in basically ranking their bottlenecks so that they can figure out how to prioritize their planning dollars.
And this is actually a programmatic error, but Evan is actually giving his talk the day before during the interactive poster session, so he won't be here on Friday to talk about this, but he will be here on Thursday. And then my presentation is looking at data and how data that's stored in tree structures changes in time. So think of the federal budget. You've got the entire budget of the federal government, then you've got agencies and bureaus that are underneath that. That's a tree structure. All sorts of transportation data sets are stored in trees, but visualizing how trees change from month to month, year to year is extremely difficult. We've created a visualization that helps you do that, and we'll be demoing that. All right. Kevin, come back.
All of us, or all of you, in design visualization secretly wish you worked at Pixar or ILM or Disney. We want to have a discussion around what do they do differently in the way they think about creating models and animations than we do. Hopefully you'll join us.
Last but not least, freight operations. Is Greg here? Greg, come on down.
Greg Ferrara, ITRI. Well, I'm going to talk to you about and show you a mapping application, data visualization, visual analytic application that we've developed with the State Highway Patrol's Motor Carrier Enforcement Unit. Those are the guys that go out and enforce and inspect trucks to make them safer. And what we're going to do is show you how we drove that data visualization and performance tracking down to the troop level so that they can measurably track their performance and then prioritize enforcement activities to make their enforcement more effective.
I don't really need 30 seconds this time. I think I can get you interested in coming to this one in 2 words. Watermelon buses. This is going to be about how virtual weigh station technology is being used for a whole bunch of different purposes by Maryland State Police, including fighting the threat of watermelon buses. Come find out what that's about.
He's not kidding. There really are watermelon buses. All right, John, last but not least.
Everybody talks about being last. I actually am last, and I'm here to talk to you about business analytics, BI tools for the rest of us. I'll be doing some live demos as well as showing examples of the use of Tableau software for looking at network systems, traffic flows. From a logistics perspective, I'll do a live demo with that, building out a dual axis, chirpleth, and point-specific map. So please stop on by. This will connect to Hadoop.
You'll have to go see his presentation to know what those last 3 words were going to be. All right, so that's it for our opening session. I'm super excited to have everyone here. We've got close to 130 participants and a great set of presentations. We're going to be taking a break now. Our next set of sessions begin at 11 a.m. and they are distributed throughout the center. Unfortunately, the locations aren't in the body of the program, but if you look at the first page, you've got this agenda at a glance. Find the session name. It tells you which room. There's a map at the back, although the place isn't that big. But please be in the rooms promptly at 11 so we can get started. Thank you.